Okay, welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I'm your host, GameChanger. And yeah, I was thinking about something this morning and decided to make a quick video about it. So, Jessica mentioned about the African prostitutes. And for those of you who didn't see it on my channel, basically how it works is white English women, I guess the ones that we would call post war, the ones who have been married and then divorced, or they're cheating on their husbands, but for whatever reason, they go to Africa for some penis. Penis. And they do. They get it. Some of them, they have their vacations, have their fun, maybe buy a stove or two, and then they're on their way back. But some of them either stay, and these are probably the older ones or the ones who are, in a position to retire or find work out there. But others, they bring their lovers back home with them and either divorce their husbands or they were never married to begin with. And, but then they marry their lovers. Now, in exchange, the lover gets a green card to, Mariota, England. And, the wife or whatever you want to call her, the English woman, the British lady, even though this isn't really ladylike by how most people define it, she gets that BBC rigorously on demand. Now, these guys are typically younger and she's older, but that doesn't matter to her. And sometimes it's a long term love connection, but other times it isn't. Jessica was talking about how articles are written about how these guys are leaving these women as soon as the time is up, like 5 to 10 years. She said about 7 at most. So at around that time, they tend to leave the older, less desirable woman, and as a citizen, they bring somebody in from their home country, likely a PYT or a girl that he met, prior to the arrangement. And of course, the girl's okay with it because it's her chance to escape the. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, it's really to escape the poverty that they may be experiencing in their country, or just for whatever reason. They just they would rather live in England than whatever part of Africa that they live in. So, yeah, it's a win-win, at least temporarily, in that regard. And as she described, what winds up happening is the guy divorces, has his green card, and that's that. However, I was thinking about the situation, and I know the women complain in the magazines, but sometimes bitch is just bitch, and even when they're happy. I was thinking that perhaps, and I want y'all to follow this logic, perhaps the women, these British white ladies, are initiating the divorce. Now, follow with me for a second here. So the women marry the guys for youth and penis. Penis. So let's just say they marry a 25-year-old, right? And then by the time they get divorced, he's 32. But she don't want a 32-year-old penis. She wants a 25-year-old penis. So what does she do? She divorces, say that he just used me for a green card, and she goes back to Africa. And she gets herself another 25-year-old penis. And she could continue this process. She could continue this process to the day she die. To the day she died from big-ass dick poisoning. It's an endless cycle of young penis. It's a smorgasbord of BBC. That is what she's going for. Now, America is the big ass, buff ass child of merry old England. So I was wondering, and my brain, right? I was using my brain to wonder this. Why is it that American white women don't go to Africa and do the same thing? I mean, the desire for BBC is obvious, but why don't the American women do that? Do the same thing. They have money and shit like that. Instead of for buying a Louis Vuitton bag, they can just go and buy themselves a penis. So why aren't they doing that? I was curious. I was curious. So when the video came up, I asked Jessica, and her answer was that I was asking Jessica, why don't the white English women, the British ladies, just get the BBCs that are there, the ADOS, I guess you would call them, the English descendants of slaves. And she was like, well, because those guys actually have standards, and they fuck their equals or women who are more pretty than they are handsome, as normal people do. However, here, so many black American men don't do that, that the American women don't have to travel for the BBC. The white American women, they don't have to travel for the BBC. If you are a post-war divorcee with diminished walls and everything, a couple of kids in college and shit like that, instead of going to Africa to get it, you just get it from a local nigga, or just a standard homosexual or anything like that. Which is, I guess a good deal for all that's involved. But it got me thinking, who's getting the better deal? So I do a little research, and it turns out that these African fuckboys, they get college tuition, they get stock options, they get, all kind of health benefits. It's really like they're getting paid an actual job. Except they don't have to pay to live. Like, they're actually getting salaries, so to speak. Fucked me up to hear that. And here's what's more fucked up. When you think about the whole thing. So the Africans, right? Oh, by the way, I met a guy like this, but that's going to be on a story time from GC. But I met a guy like this. It was a trip. He was a gigolo, and he was African. He was Nigerian. But what I've concluded was that the Africans, they get a green card, room and board, an allowance. Some of them get, like I say, a stock portfolio and college tuition. And then they get to bring their girlfriends in at a relatively young age. But the American, I don't know what you want to call it, fuckboy, maggle, or a person who sleeps with a woman that's less attractive than he is handsome for the benefits of sex or temporarily living, just for the most part gets pussy. Here you have a quote unquote penis that is worth so much. It is so valuable. I got that good wood. I got all, but yet you are getting less for it than a African prostitute? Like, where else does that make sense? I think that, like, everybody gets more than an African prostitute. And, like, if we look at it from like a global international type deal or situation, I would just assume, I haven't really researched it, but I just assume that they're like the lowest paid prostitutes on earth. And Like I don't think that they get like $40. I think they get like 40 cents. I don't know, but it's just like, yeah. So if you are like these one of these guys, and here's what I mean by these guys, because there's so many different names. So I'll just give like a definition. So if you're one of the guys who go around fucking like divorcee or just post-war bitches, thinking that you're the man because you're getting so much, because you're getting so much pussy, and even then you're not. You're actually competing for pussy that doesn't even have physical appeal. But that's here nor there. So you're actually like out with your abs and shit, or I don't know what the fuck these niggas do, but I mean, you're out trying to compete for these divorcee or married women's pussy, is what you're doing. And you're hoping for just the pussy. And of course, the bragging rights that goes along with it. To say, I stuck my dick in a warm hole, and that's fine, but that's all you're getting when these African guys are pretty much getting everything that they want and the post-wall pussy that we talk about. I don't know. It just kind of hit me, and it hit me when she was telling the story. But I was like, wonder what the American equivalent to an African prostitute is. And I'm like, there is no such a thing because they're working for free. They're working for the satisfaction of getting pussy. The thirst factor is extraordinary. Now, here's the worst part. Because when I go down the rabbit hole, I really go down the rabbit hole, right? Here's the worst part. A lot of these guys, they do that, but they don't marry the chick. That's another thing. They don't marry the chick because they're not working for long-term connections or even like alimony or or palimony or anything like that. They are just working for pussy. If they were homeless, they would be holding up a sign saying, "We'll work for pussy." You know. So I was thinking further into it, right? And I was like, look, if these guys don't marry one of these post-wall women, then what inevitably winds up happening is that she gets tired of you. Just like the African women. They get tired of you. A divorce happens. You may or may not be left with a kid or two. Or maybe she'll take care of it. Who knows? But, and you will find yourself without the support of your protector. I guess you would describe somebody like that. So now you would find yourself in your early 30s, right? Just follow the situation. You would find yourself in your early 30s looking for this post-wall pussy. You are scouring the world looking for a post-wall pussy. And what you slowly start to realize is that the women who are looking for the BBC are looking for it amongst the 25 and under crowd. Your age is slowly approaching her husband's age. So I guess the question is, why not just fuck the husband twice? I mean, yeah, I guess you do a few more push-ups while he's pushing a pencil or, clicking a keyboard or, firing some nigga somewhere. But, I guess the question is, why not fuck her husband? You're close. Like, if she's like in her early 40s and you're in your early 30s, it's like, she's the woman who has the option to pick her fuckboy. She's going to pick younger. Now, I wonder, and this is just me, and feel free, this is what the comment section is for. This is the purpose of the comment section. I want people to comment and tell me what happens to an early 30s fuckboy that does not secure the bag. Not only did he not get it, I'm talking about just like generally, because the American fuckboys, they just do it for pussy. So not only did he not get the bag, he didn't secure it. He didn't even like marry her and, like say, look, bitch, if you divorce me, I'm taking all your shit. What does he do at that point in his life? I'm genuinely curious because I don't like know of anyone in that situation. So, but I am curious. What do they do? Do they continue to seek out post-wall women? And then just, when you get when you get a woman who is less in shape, less pretty than you are handsome, may have a few coins in the bank, very little of which goes to you for anything long term. If anything, you might get flowed somewhere, or you might get, you might get some Pop Tarts, and you might get some alcohol or something like that. But you don't get anything that will sustain over time. So what happens to those people? We know what happens to the Africans. What happened to these guys? So, yeah. Before I say game over, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section. This is an open-ended question. And I might be picking some of your replies for my next video or live stream. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.